So I'm still in San Marcos on Lake Atitlan in Guatemala, and one of the special attributes about San Marcos is this place behind me called Konojel. And basically Konojel is a non-profit organization working with the indigenous on the land. It has big stretching arms and is doing great things for the community here. So I'm going to get to know what's happening in this beautiful little community and share it with you. So let's see what's going on.
Thanks for coming up. Welcome to the Konojel Community Center. So Konojel is located in the first school in the history of San Marcos, which is to say that about 75 years ago, this is where elementary school was taking place. So we occupy kind of a very special part of the town. A lot of the village elders remember when they were much younger and they went to school here, and that was the first time that there was a school. Konojel means all together in Kaqchikel. Kaqchikel is the language spoken here in San Marcos La Laguna in Sololá, Guatemala. Konojel is working in San Marcos to fight chronic malnutrition. And this is a huge problem in San Marcos La Laguna and throughout Guatemala and really throughout Central America. Konojel is fighting chronic malnutrition through the missions of nutrition, education, and employment. There's nothing more important to Konojel than creating and sustaining dignified and decent paying jobs for Mayan women, because our goal for the long term, one day we hope to not serve any food in Konojel. So for 1 year already, Konojel was giving out 60 vegetarian and really healthy lunches to a pre-identified list of beneficiaries in town. Right, this is the project that I took over in October 2012. This project had a list of people, mostly elderly women, and mostly elderly women along with a couple of babies and young moms breastfeeding, really the most vulnerable members of this community. And the health center and the family court and the Ministry of Agriculture, all Guatemalan institutions, none of these decisions were made by foreigners. Those institutions brought to Konojel the names of the beneficiaries or the at-risk citizens in this town who could really use a good meal. We know who's coming, why they're here, and do routine home visits. Not me, but our Kaqchikel indigenous staff. We're very, very attentive to who comes, why they come, and if they're not coming, why they're not coming. Today, our list of people who receive the meal includes 18 children under the age of 3. Right, Guatemala is the 4th worst country in the world for chronic malnutrition in children under 5. What you're seeing here is Garden 3, the smallest of our 4 gardens. We've built a medicinal herb spiral, including parsley and peppermint and regular mint. So we're making our food and our drinks with medicinal herbs from this local community, thanks to the collaboration of other institutions, businesses, and hotels here in town. Right, and when I talk about collaborations, it's important to note that Konojel wastes nothing. All donations monetary go straight to the food and the jobs that make them. This is a 3-meter tall solar dehydrator. And this guy right here is a rotating solar oven. These things are super easy to use. So thanks to the installation of these solar machines from New Mundo and B and Che and Juliana, we have 7 women, completely independent of Konojel, the food program, the education program, all that, who just make solar snacks. In this solar oven, we have 7 women who know how to make healthy chocolate chip cookies, vegan chocolate chip cookies, and we do 3 separate types of baked lemon salt seeds, including sunflower seeds and green squash seeds and pumpkin seeds. Super nutritious, vegan, gluten-free, all that stuff. You just open the reflectors in the morning, clean off the glass, and then you get behind it, you find the sun, and you line it up. All you got to do is point it at the sun. We can get this thing up to about 250, maybe 300 degrees Fahrenheit if we stay on top of its orientation. This guy over here, built by Che, is a solar dehydrator. In this machine, we prepare dried banana leathers. We make 3 different flavors of natural beef jerky, including 2 recipes that the indigenous women themselves came up with. The meal they're going to eat today and that they eat every day here is the difference between growing up potentially to the right size and developing cognitively the way they should be, or being forever stunted and forever ill. Today we're also providing lunch to 6 women who are breastfeeding here in town, young mothers, and 13 elderly citizens, including 11 women. And so this is food for babies, school children, breastfeeding moms, and the elderly. And it's not an open list. This is a list predetermined by government and non-government institutions. So this rocket stove is a great comparison in terms of appropriate technology compared to the traditional tortilla plancha or griddle. This is what almost everybody in the indigenous community in San Marcos makes all their food on. You think, why is chronic malnutrition such an issue in a land full of fertile volcanic soil? Well, a lot of their money, almost all of their money, for the household goes to firewood so they can boil their water and make their corn into tortillas. And of course the corn itself, which represents almost all of the household economy in a town where unemployment is astronomical. This machine allows us to make food for up to 100 people a day, or let's say 500 meals a week, because we work Monday to Friday. We make 500 meals a week with 1 and a little bit loads of wood, and the average household on that average machine uses 2 loads of wood to make half the food. So we're at least twice as fuel efficient as any average household, and certainly as any restaurant. Konojel wants to be sustainable, and it wants to move away from dependence on foreign donations. We want to make our own way. Right? The 23 school children who eat lunch with us every day, it's important for them to contribute back to the project that's supporting them. And it's for that reason that we insist that they participate in the mandatory enrichment program. The enrichment program is something of an after-school activities club for the kids. They contribute through homework help, and yesterday we were painting mandalas, and previously we've had acro yoga teachers come. But during the school year, it's also largely academic. Here, because a lot of our beneficiaries are female, it's really important that they are told that they're good in math and science, and they can do it, because here in particular, and really throughout the world, I think young women are told that they're not good at math. So I'm very proud of our children's library, which has been growing little by little. Here's where we house our educational digital technology. I mean, this has been a long and slow process developing this space and convincing the community that we are deserving of occupying the space, because this is the town refuge. This is the town shelter. The enrichment program is an opportunity for the kids to have a safe place to exist and to play. And people say, good work, and you're a good kid, and your mom's gonna like that. Take that home to her. This is what we do here.
So I'm here with Daisy, another director at Konojel, and she has a few words to share with us as well.
My role as a director is to support Andrew in any way, since he really is very much the heart of this organization, and he's the operational director. He knows every kid that comes here by name, by family. He knows their parents, he knows their sisters, he knows when they came here, what shape they were in, and he really follows through and loves every kid. And I don't think that I'm capable of doing that, and he is, and so my job is to support him in supporting all the beneficiados.
Over the last 3 years, we've been really fortunate, thanks to the community and our international network, in raising, something like $100,000. Right? But we have added 0 names to the list of people that we feed. Rather, we have added so many jobs. When you think about the fact that we're not a business, that we're an NGO, a 501c3, this is about non-paternalism. Nobody here knows better than the Mayan women. The Mayan women know better than us. And what we do is we bring them resources and try to open doors for them to decide with input from international experience and people who've been in this community for a long time, what is best for their own community. We've gone from 3 cooking staff to 4 cooking staff, an administrator, 2 young educators, a gardener, 7 women in our cooperative. Now I'm up to 15 employees from 3. 15 employees. That's what we're doing with the money we get. We're not using it to feed every single kid in this town. We're using it to make jobs for their moms. I didn't name this organization Konojel. That's my predecessor, the founder, Benjamin Gerarte, who's a wonderful guy and did a great job in starting this project. Konojel means all together, and I really think that he couldn't have chosen a better name for this organization, because it blends gardening and permaculture theory with female empowerment and fuel-efficient technology, and my joy, which is little kids reading. And so I'm super proud that all of us here, we know everybody that comes in the door every single day and why they're here. Every single day, sick people get good food here and have a place where people care about them. And that's something significant, I think.
This is a great example of how communities could come together to support the indigenous and give back and feel good and see a community grow.
After about 2 years, I finally conceded and I said, okay, I'm going to stop telling them what they need and start asking them what they need. And they started telling us, and this is really about 2 years into the program, that we turned over all the decision making to them, and we started asking them, what do you need? What are your problems? And what solutions do you want? And that's when we started having incredibly successful programs. And these women here are getting trained and they're getting jobs, and we're bettering the lives of these people one plate at a time, one job at a time, one donation at a time, until this entire community is thriving and prosperous, and everybody has an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to feed themselves.
In my heart, what I really want Konojel to do, what I really want Konojel to be, is a platform through which indigenous people, young people and women, can raise their own standard of living. I'm not doing it for them. Nobody is going to do any of that stuff for them. But thanks to the resources, programs, experiences, and trainings they have access to in Konojel, in addition to just the food we're giving, all those resources allow young Mayan women to raise their own standard of living and make a significant change in their household economy, in themselves, and in the well-being of their children. I hope you'll check us out online at our awesome website, konojel.org, as well as following us on Facebook, which is the Konojel Community Center, and we're on Instagram, and you can write to me at andrew@konojel.org. All the donations, all the contributions we get go straight to the food and the jobs to help strengthen the indigenous community here. So any contribution goes right to the source. I hope I'll see you guys here in San Marcos La Laguna in Sololá, Guatemala. And look us up, come and visit, because everybody who gets to meet our family in person really wants to support us, and we really need support.
When you start to do your own work, there's this transformational process that happens, and once you start to become more full and more whole, you experience the desire to support something other than oneself, and that's delicious and exciting, and this is a great example of the magnitude of impact you could have on one community. So, as I always say, let love